If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. More trash from more so-called musicians who do nothing but show you the same signs and symbols, always referencing God and the devil. This is a perfectly good example to use if you're trying to wake someone up close to you. Yet again, The Weeknd, yet again, these musicians using God, referencing scripture, fallen angels, Masonic tiles, esoteric garbage, over and over and over and over and over, and still people think that they're trolling people like me. You know how they troll people like me? They troll people like me by deleting channels. You know, channels that have 500,000 subscribers, at least taking down monetization, taking down sharing abilities, which Susan Wojcicki has openly admitted to, that they will not share channels they deem controversial. Thus, the channel can't grow and new people can't wake up, and that's why I continue to build new channels. All right, here's Doja Cat. Doja Cat, what is she famous for? No one knows. And again, this is them always playing God. They try to play God because they believe they're Egyptian gods. They tried to play God, but they end up just playing with themselves and making really, really horrible music and horrible videos that constantly show you the same signs and symbols, but you're supposed to believe they're artistic. Now, Doja Cat has come out and trolled and said, only the Illuminati, and used humor to deflect, which is what they always do.
And I just wanted to say, I am Illuminati.
Oh, that's the YouTube tag right there. They're going to make, at 35 seconds and point 2, she said this.
Okay, I have no idea who this is. I only know who Doja Cat is because constantly now this is in the trending section. Yet again, this is #1 trending on YouTube. Ready? All right, let's start this. Because it starts with gates, right? And this is referencing heaven, gates, okay, right? The gates of heaven. And inside, of course, is Doja Cat's, her kingdom. Okay, and what's the first thing you see when we get inside? Oh my goodness, it's the black and white floors. Call HGTV. Because it is totally trending right now. It is the hottest trend. You gotta get it. The Kardashians have it. All the celebrities just love the black and white tiles. And so coincidentally do the Freemasons, since every lodge that they have the black and white esoteric floors. But I mean, we're all just really dumb, right? We're supposed to believe it has no meaning at all. There's nothing symbolic about it. Just every video's got it constantly. So let's continue on. Now you can see her hair here, his hair. The Libra symbolism. I'm not going to get into the Libra symbolism because, again, the whole astrology crap is occult crap. And people think that they have normalized this so that people continue to get into astrology, which the term astrology, people hear and they're just like, oh, that doesn't mean occult. Yes, it does. It's just a term that they use to normalize it, to make you think it's safe and it's normal. And then people ask what your sign is. And that's just the way you behave because you were born in June or July or August. No. Do you think in the Wild West or 100 years ago, people were walking around, they're like, I'm a Libra, and they're using these occult signs and symbols that people would be getting on board with it? Of course not. They'd probably be putting them in cages and locking them in cells. But unfortunately, we live in this era where this is normal. So you can see the hair, and they'll tell you it's Libra because that's the symbol of Libra. This has to do with more sun worship, occult worship, Egyptian god signs and symbols all over the place. This is paying ode to Venus, okay? And of course, the album happens to go by the name of what, Call? What? Well, I would say it's called Smut because that's pretty much what the video and the music is. But it's called Planet Her. Wow, how original. Can you believe that? Planet Her. I mean, all these people. God is a woman, Planet Her. And this whole video I'm about to show you is about God and the devil. I don't want to continue ranting, but Planet Her. Boy, is a constant reference to God being the devil. Couldn't be mentioning Lucifer. Of course not. And of course, you see Libra symbolism and, just in the Kabbalah and everything else. But let's get into the basics here. So you can see the basic story and see how it's not anything original. Okay? She's here on Earth. She's looking up to the sky. Who's up in the sky above? It's The Weeknd. This guy who I've exposed thousands of times, who pays homage to, just Fear and Loathing and, the stuff with adrenochrome and everything else in his videos. The Weeknd, of course, he's in the occult, was in the Super Bowl, the halftime show with his occult symbolism, which I covered. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on one of my channels. Actually, that might be down because that channel was deleted. Nonetheless, here he is in the sky. He's supposed to be playing God, right? He sees her. She's coming up, looking into his eyes. And, of course, they zoom in on his one eye, this eye they just happen to love. They love the eye. And he's looking at her in his eye. And then what, right? He's supposedly throwing her down onto the earth. She's representing Lucifer, right? That's what she's representing. That's what Pink was just representing in the video I covered. They constantly show this of them falling from the sky. They didn't just come up with an idea and say, I'm going to fall from the sky. I'm going to jump out of a plane without a parachute. Like I said before, I wish they would jump out of planes without parachutes, these people. That would be great. Save us a lot of problems. But unfortunately, what they're doing here is not referencing that or doing that, unfortunately. In Luke chapter 10, verse 18, this is what they're referencing. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, okay? We know this is what this means. So let's just call him he. Let's be real. I mean, unless that's your preference. So anyway, this thing, Doja Cat, is falling from the sky, representing Lucifer falling from the sky, right? Down onto the earth. They couldn't make it more obvious. They're even slowing it down or falling from the sky. Boom, she's back on earth, right? What happens next? Well, since The Weeknd is playing the role of God, now we reference what? Well, we reference the flood, right? Because remember, God flooded the earth. And people don't like to remember that. We remember what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. No one likes to remember that except when they use it as a way of saying they're oppressed. But really what God was doing was kind of cleaning up a mess, if you know what I mean. And as well here with the Nephilim and the giant, right? As in the days of Noah, ladies and gentlemen, you're living in it right now. And the Bible talks about as in the days of Noah. Remember, as in the days of Noah, what happened? Well, the earth was flooded. Matthew chapter 24, verses 37 through 39. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. That's Matthew chapter 24, verses 37 through 39. That is what they're referencing with this flood here. That's what this is referencing here. She's referenced down to the earth, right? You see a heart pumping, of course, because, this is what, even in that verse, what do we hear in that verse? Talking about they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that no one said, well, they were eating flesh then. And they still are now. In the end period that we're living in. They just don't tell you that stuff, that these people do these types of rituals that involve the eating of a heart, but you'll see them in movies over and over again. But that's, of course, that's fictional. That's just somebody with a creative imagination. No, that's not what it is. It's showing you what they actually do. Like I say a million times, more reality there than on the news. And you see, of course, the heart, eating of the heart. What else do we see as we get to the end here? Well, of course, you have a guy laying on her playing video games, which is pretty symbolic to the end times because it just shows you the attitude that people have of not caring. Is that what they're going for here? Maybe not. That's what I interpreted from it. Let's continue as we go to her phone, his phone, right? What do we see on the phone? We see, of course, the spiral symbol. Also could look like and be interpreted as a 6 upside down, but the spiral. And the spiral to them has many meanings. I know a lot of you know the spiral as a meaning involving children. Remember the whole thing with the wrestler who went and told mommy and daddy, Vince McMahon, about my channel, and he claimed it was wind on his arm, and maybe it is wind. It doesn't make a difference. The wind came and went as fast as his wrestling career did. I'll tell you that much. But it's actually the spiral symbol is linked to reincarnation. Reincarnation and infinity, the infinity symbol. These people believe that they're infinite, that they are not going anywhere, that they are continuous. That's what the Illuminati believe. That's what the secret societies are taught. And this is what they actually believe. And I think it's pretty funny that it says the pattern right on her phone as well, or his phone. the pattern. I see the patterns, all right. Maybe that's a reference to me and you out there listening, because we see the patterns, we see the repetition, we see the signs and symbols. Unfortunately, the people that this is geared towards, the audience that's watching, does not. And that enhances the spell, hence enhancing the spell that is put on the audience of dumb fans who listen to Doja Cat. Okay? But we see the pattern. She's even telling you. They love it. They get a kick out of it. The stupid people that live in this world. And the video, of course, ends with her standing on top of water, a bed on top of water, mocking God, walking on more water, sitting on water, laying on water. But that is what this video is about. The ends, the times that we're in. Lucifer's fall, God's flood, letting you even know, letting the fans know that we're in that period. And just pointless lyrics, pointless nonsense. But people believe that this is just, oh yeah, she just created this. She had a vision for this video. Oh, I've seen it 1,000 times. Black and white Masonic Forge, you zooming in on people's eyes. Weekend wanted to be an optometrist too. Falling from the sky. Wow, real original. Pink just did it a couple weeks ago. I mean, all of them do it. It's a pattern. It's in front of you. They're always referencing scripture. They're always referencing God and the devil. People don't realize that. And then they come on, they're like, I'm spiritual, but, I believe in evolution. But maybe there's a God, but it's, of course it's not. They don't mention our Father. In the Bible, they do not mention Jesus Christ. It is just blatantly obvious that's what they're constantly referencing. And of course, the black and white tiles are there not just for duality, to reference who's behind these productions. Who is the bottom-feeding secret society here? The Freemasons, who have this as well, who worship Lucifer. And, of course, they find that out eventually when they get deep into Freemasonry. And that's what this is all about. So I wanted to cover that for everyone out there. Doja Cat and The Weeknd. Again, these people are in our faces 24/7, nonstop. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, though, for them, of course, worshiping Lucifer because they're on the losing team. And they're pretty much... Look, people who worship Lucifer are losers. Plain and simple. In life and in everything they do, they're just pathetic losers. However, ironically or not ironically for them, they don't realize that they're actually losers at it all because they lose. God wins, the devil loses. We already know, it's told. So they've already selected the losing team, which then, once again, makes them even bigger losers than they already are. That's how it works. I want to remind everyone to check out the website, callforuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. It is well worth it. Please check it out if you haven't. I want to remind everyone I have a Patreon. Please consider becoming one if you're not. It helps me create many, many videos, as many as I make, which is way more than most content creators who have Patreons and have thousands of Patreons. But if you can't become one, it's understandable and it's fine. Just try to thumbs up the video if you can. Watching the ads helps as well. And I want to thank everyone for the support. Thumbsing up the videos does go a long way, so please consider doing so. And, of course, all the nice comments and prayers that people leave. And I want to thank the trolls again as well. Because of you, well, it doesn't really do anything, actually, because I'm troll-proof. So keep it coming. I love it. I'll run you over like I already do. Get off the tracks when the train's coming through. Ladies and gents, I thank you guys for being here again. God bless all of you and your families.